Hi everyone and welcome back to another video on Eleanor's restoration. What you see in front of you are all the tools and parts I need to get Eleanor off the jig and back onto our subframes and rolling. So where I left you in the last video was the underside was fully painted. This has been left for 2 weeks now. Really pleased with the finish, and it's solid and dry. So I'm now ready to get to the stage of getting her off the jig on a rolling platform and then back onto the subframes. And as you've just seen, that's the tools and parts I need there. To make my life easier, and it's always about making my life easier, there's a few things I'm going to do while she's still on the jig, and that's the underside here. To save me lying, struggling on my back, I'm going to get the fuel pipe made up. I've got the battery cable to go on, and I've got the brake pipe to go on as well. So this one's all going to be about basically getting the underside ready and off the jig. Before I look at subframes and things like that, there's a few other things I need to add on. I'll cover those in the videos to come. Steering rack, things like that, but I'm going to do it in the order that it kind of should be done, in the order that is good for me. So yeah, let's bash on with it. Years and years ago, when I took all this apart, I took loads of photos, and I kept the, it's down below me, you can't see, I kept all the pipes and templates, so I'll show you this in the little camera after this. It just makes it easier now to be able to make them up. So I have went for some alloy brake pipes for the bottom and fuel pipes. The fuel pipes are 1/4 in width, and the brake pipes are 5/16. So yeah, I'm just going to basically measure the old ones. I've got some tools there to bend them, and straighten them and make them look nice, and let's get them on. So I'm starting with the fuel pipe because it's the highest up and it's not got any unions on the end, so it should technically be the easiest one. Online, the length tells me it's 96 inches if I was to order just the pipe on its own. Let's find out. So for that, I am at 92 inches. So yeah, looking online, the official length of the original pipe is 92 inches, which, funnily enough, is what I have here. If you order pipe online, specifically front to back for this era of Mini, they give you 96 inches, and that's to allow for bending by hand because the bends are longer. You can't put a sharp bend on, otherwise it'll kink the pipe. So yeah, what I will do, I'll go with that as well. I'll go with the 96 that I'm going to cut for mine, because if I'm too long I can always just cut it with the cutter. If I'm too short, I'm going to have to start again. So I said before I went with the zinc alloy for the underside. The previous ones that I've done on the subframes were slightly different colour. They were the copper. So yeah, I'm going with this on this one just because of the durability, where it sits, and I don't want it rusted basically. So rather than ordering just a front to back pipe, I went for a big roll that I can make up myself. Now this is 25 feet, so it'll be slightly longer than what I need, so I will need to cut it. I've got the tools to straighten it out and to bend it. Never used them before, so I'm quite keen to try it, and that's what I'm going to do here. As I said, this is 1/4 thickness, thicker than the brake pipe. I've never used the zinc alloy before, but you can feel the difference in strength. It's a lot harder to bend than the copper, but on the flip side it's a lot more durable and a lot longer lasting. A little tool here goes through it. Hopefully it'll be the right size for this. It looks a bit small. Yeah, just to straighten this out. So the tool here wasn't working, it's just too thin for, I think, the toughness of this. So I'll try it on the brake pipe in a bit and see if it's just the wrong tool or if it's because it's the alloy, it's just harder to bend. And I'll give you my feedback. But in the meantime, I've got this as straight as I can with this. I can fiddle about and get it a bit straighter, but I'm going to cut it first to the 96 inches. And it saves working with the excess reel, and I can get that out of the way. And there you go. Perfect end. Looks like 90 degrees, so tried off camera to start with to get used to the new bending tool. Never used it, and I've never used the alloy pipes before either. And the first one I learnt a few lessons about how much you can bend it without it snapping. There's not a lot of give, and you'll never get it to a full 90 degrees, not with this either, not with this anyway. So I've got one more shot because I got enough to give it another go. If I muck it up again, then I'll be ordering more parts. So yeah, I'm going to use the template to get roughly what I'm looking for, and then I think, to be honest, it might be easier doing it when it's on the car, so it's shaped to the car rather than the template. Albeit this alloy is not as easy to shape with hand as the copper pipe is, so let's see how I get on. Let's start with the back end, I think. And I'm going to start with this bit here. So okay, fuel pipe is on. It'll obviously be fixed up better once the hose is on this end and it's fixed at the front, but for the purpose of this it's getting fixed in place to allow the subframes to go on. So yeah, I probably prefer the copper, to be honest, because it's more malleable, more flexible. This is quite hard to work with, although it is longer lasting. Because it's a fuel pipe, it's bigger as well, so it's just a bit harder to get the right shape, but I'm happy with it, otherwise I would just change it. So another one done. I'll go around with the routing I've got on the small camera, and then on to the next one. Next is the battery cable. Now, when I done the subframe way back, this was attached there. I've just unattached this now with the 3 screws, because it's going to be easier to add to the shell as it is just now. So I'm obviously not wanting to take off this to fit through the hole here, whereas the bit that attaches to the ground at the front of the engine, sorry, at the starter motor, will fit through. So I'm basically going to feed it through from this side all the way through. Comes through here, up and along into the front. But I'll cover that when I do it. So I'm going to go squeeze round there and start feeding this through. And this obviously attaches to the front subframe. Battery cable in now as well. I don't know why, I thought this was going to be fairly straightforward, but it's putting up a fight every step of the way. Like sometimes you get days like that in the garage. Anyway, last one on the underside before I can get this rotisserie out of the way is the brake pipe. So it's the front to rear. I've left this to last because I'll need to do the make up the unions. Now I've done that on a previous video, so I'm not going to show that. I'm just going to make it up off camera and do it on and bend it into shape. I'm going to see if with the smaller pipe my straightening tool works a bit better, or if it's just the alloy pipes that make it difficult. I've made the brake pipe up. I've got the template here, although it'll be slightly different because it's not the correct one that was on the car. It's been butchered, if you like, and moved over the subframe rather than under it where it should go. I'm putting it back to how it should, so it roots underneath the subframe. Took the measurement, it was 94 inches, but I've added on about an inch just to give me some manoeuvrability for bending. The unions are on. It's Imperial at the back at the splitter, it's a 5/16 union. At the front it's a 10mm where it goes onto the limiter valve. There's a whole forum about why Rover done metric at the front, and yeah, it's anyway 10mm at the front. So yeah, I'm just going to get this back on and get it sat in place, so then I can get this off the spit. And it's done. So I've put the rubber tubing in there to protect it and to hold it a bit better. All pipes are in, battery cables in. Might need more adjusting by the time I get to the subframe, but the point of getting them on here is so I don't have to just lie on my back looking up the way. So, and they can be bent, that's fine, they're flexible enough. I've left enough length in them, so yeah. That means it's time to get her back on. I've got the roll-in pallet. Onto the pallet, I can then look at a few bits and pieces, including the steering rack and then subframes. So getting there, totally getting there. I'll do a once over with the camera to show the routing a closer look than you're getting just now, and I'll call that a day there. So I'll say, as always, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!